perspectives. I'm back. I want to talk about the Daniel Caesar blowout. People are upset. They cannot believe what happened with him, and like people are just um people are upset, because basically Daniel Caesar went on Instagram Live, I believe, and he made a video live with another person in the video. And the entire video, he's basically saying he doesn't understand why black people constantly get upset at white people or any other race, ethnicity, talking trash about them when black people talk trash about other ethnicities and racial groups all the time. So basically, why are you upset at other people coming back at you with the same amount of energy when you're doing the same thing? Also, he went on to defend Yes Jules, who basically said, and I want to make sure I get the right information, right? Because y'all seen my previous video, people got so upset with me for holding Jess Hilarious accountable for being a bigot and a closed-minded and racially profiling Sikh men who were boarding an airplane. And, I was holding her accountable, and people are basically saying that Yes Jules is a culture vulture, keep black women's names out of your mouth, you know, and I feel like there's truths in all of this stuff, right? There's truthhoods and there's falsehoods. And this is why I like doing these videos, because I'm able to look at various perspectives, and I'm very open to other people's perspectives and letting people voice their opinions in the comment box below. But what I've noticed as a black person dealing with black people, some of us are extremely immature and downright toxic and downright narcissistic, because every time someone brings up issues within the black community that the black community needs to focus on, fix, and break these toxic cycles, people always get upset. Now you're being an Uncle Tom. Now you're being a sellout. Now you have self-hate issues. Or if you're a non-black person of color, now you're anti-black. If you're white, now you're racist. The list goes on. And basically, and I'm just going to go on and say it, from my personal opinion, some of us love to play the victim mentality. And that is extremely narcissistic at the end of the day, because you don't want to be held accountable for anything that you're saying or doing. You basically want to continue to have this victim mentality. You're marginalized, you're oppressed. And don't get me wrong, we are marginalized and we are oppressed, but it's not the same as it was 20, 50, 100, 200, 300, 500 years ago. It's not the same. Things have improved. Now, are things perfect? No. Do we have a long way to go? Yes. But to continue to play this woe is me game, I'm not here for it anymore. Okay? Granted, when Daniel Caesar made his comments on his live video, he did miss out. I mean, there's a lot of nuances that were not discussed in the video. But then again, that's how a lot of things are, right? We're not going to be able to tackle every little thing that's going on in the world. However, we may be able to tackle a situation or talk about a topic. Is there room for more discussion, more conversation on this? Yes. Should we do it? Yes. But this victim mentality that we got going on, no, I'm not here for it personally. All right? So people are upset at him for standing up for Yes Jules. And Yes Jules has made a lot of disrespectful, condescending remarks, racist or anti-black remarks about black people, okay? For example, in 2017, she had an incident where she tweeted a photo of a crop top that read, "Niggas lie a lot," and posed the question of whether she should wear it to a music festival she was hosting. People got extremely upset about that, which I can understand. If you're not black, you really shouldn't be wearing certain things. I get it. But then on the flip side, why come out with clothes that says the ignorant crap in the first place and then get mad at other people of color who aren't black or other white people wearing it. You're the one who's putting it out there. Again, you like to play victim when you cause your own problems in some of these situations. And then y'all want to call me a sellout and an Uncle Tom because I'm looking at all perspectives. Like I said, after a while, you have to stop dealing with toxic people. And you know what I'm talking about. And another thing, like I said in the Just Hilarious video, if you're not careful, you become what you hate. You become what you despise. And a lot of you are just as racist, closed-minded, bigoted, toxic, narcissistic as your so-called oppressor. I'm just going to put it out there. It's just very sad to see this happening right before your eyes. Okay. Also, Daniel Caesar stood up for Joe Biden, who is all, or not Joe Biden, Joe Budden, who's also a former friend and culture critic of Yes, Jules. Okay. And he stood up for him. Mind you, Joe Budden is also a person of color, also a black person. Again, anytime, and I've noticed this, anytime a black person doesn't have the same toxic perspective as the rest, and I'm not saying we're all the same, because we're not. We're all unique. We're all individuals. We're all different. But anytime we're not going with the status quo of what it means to be black in America, then we're the sellouts, we're weird, we're strange, we're Uncle Toms, we're Stephen Fetchins, all this other crap. But just because we don't want to be negative and weighed down 24/7 and playing into the victim mentality, it seems to be that's when we become sellouts. And then, granted, was it insensitive what he said? Yes. Could he said it differently? Yes. But is there some truths in what he said? Yes, in my personal opinion. Also, what got me is when you get on Twitter and you see the commentary about the Daniel Caesar situation, the black people that are talking about Daniel Caesar and even other people of color who are talking about Daniel Caesar, you're hypocritical as all get out. You sit up here, you're mad at him because of what he said, but instead of arguing the points of his arguments, you get on here on Twitter, on social media, and you're making fun of how he looks. This is what I mean by the immaturity that comes with some of us. Okay? Some of us might as well be 5 years old on the playground because that's how you act. You don't get your way, or you feel like someone did something that you don't like, then you want to sit up here and throw a tantrum. You want to make fun of how a person looks. You want to be a bully. You're very toxic and narcissistic. Y'all sitting up here making fun of his teeth, but in the meantime, he's making more money than the majority of you talking trash about him on Twitter. He's more successful than the majority of us. Yet y'all are sitting up here acting like kids, oh, his teeth, his gap, blah, blah, blah. What does that have to do with the points that he was making in his video? Y'all can't even stay on task. And that's what I mean by I just don't have time for it anymore. And I caught the same anger and hatred when I held Just Hilarious accountable for being a racist bigot, racially profiling Sikh men boarding a plane. So again, I just don't have the energy anymore to worry about toxic, narcissistic, woe is me, always a victim type people. I just don't have it in me anymore. Anyways, that's my perspective. Drop your perspectives in the comment box.